Now to the United States and an unexpected jump in the murder rate in some cities. Police and elected officials are trying to figure out what's behind the spike and how to stop the deadly trend. CCTV's Jim Spellman reports.
After 20 years of decreasing crime rates in the U.S., a sudden spike in homicides in some U.S. cities. Milwaukee up 76% over last year, St. Louis up 60%, Baltimore up 56%, and in Washington, D.C., the murder rate is up 44%, according to figures compiled by the New York Times. The last major increase in the U.S. murder rate followed the introduction of crack cocaine in the 1980s. This time, it's not so simple. Washington, D.C.'s police chief is part of a group of law enforcement officials studying the problem.
We looked at the things that were consistent among cities: repeat violent offenders, community placement versus confinement, what drugs are having what impact.
But officials haven't found a clear reason behind the spike. Marinos is secretary of the Washington, D.C. Police Union and a former beat cop.
I did everything from foot patrol to narcotics investigations.
He says cops now fear being caught on camera, like the high-profile cases over the last year that showed black men dying during altercations with officers. He says cops on the street now have a new goal.
Not to become the next YouTube sensation, not to have their name blasted all over the country.
Marinos says police officers feel they aren't getting enough support.
The media and politicians are spinning police officers to be the villain, which is wrong and which is hurting proactive police work.
Even before this recent spike, the U.S. murder rate was higher than in most other major countries. The weapon of choice in most of these recent murders has been a gun, and firearms are easily obtained in most U.S. cities. In high-crime neighborhoods, some see bigger issues at play.
We need to address the issues of unemployment, housing, and drugs. All of that has to go hand in hand.
The spike has only hit certain cities, while in others the homicide rate has stayed about the same or even dropped, making it unclear if this spike is an anomaly or a trend. Jim Spellman, CCTV, Washington.